The politics and economics of Russia's annexation of Crimea. Intro. Welcome to our video on the politics and economics of Russia's annexation of Crimea. In this video, we will explore the historical context of the crisis, the geopolitical implications of Russia's actions, and the economic consequences of the ongoing conflict in the region. Historical context. The Soviet legacy. To understand the annexation of Crimea, need to look at the historical context. Crimea is a peninsula located in the Black Sea, and it has a long and complex history. It was part of the Russian Empire in the 18th and 19th centuries, and it became part of the Soviet Union in 1921. When the Soviet Union collapsed in 1991, Crimea became part of. However, many Russians living in Crimea strongly identified with that they had been cut off from their cultural and historical roots. The Orange Revolution. In 2004, Ukraine experienced the Orange Revolution against the government that ultimately led to a rerun of the presidential election. The new government, led by Pro-Western Viktor Yushchenko, pursued with the European Union and NATO. This shift was seen as a threat by Russia, which had long seen Ukraine as part of its sphere of influence. Euromaidan and the Revolution of Dignity. In 2013, Ukraine, a period of political turmoil. Protests erupted in Kyiv's Maidan Nezalezhnosti, or Independence. Yanukovych decided to scrap a planned trade agreement with the EU in favor of closer ties with Russia. The protests, known as Euromaidan, ultimately led to the formation of a new pro-Western government. Annexation of Crimea. In March 2014, Russian troops seized Crimea, a controversial referendum in which the vast majority of Crimean residents voted to join Russia. The annexation was widely condemned by the international community, with Western countries imposing economic sanctions on Russia. 6 years on, the conflict over Crimea remains unresolved, and Russia and the West have escalated. Geopolitical implications. Russia's strategic interests. Russia's annexation of Crimea, an attempt to re-establish its dominance in the region. Crimea is strategically important for Russia because it provides access to the Black Sea and the Mediterranean beyond. Furthermore, it is home to a significant Russian military presence, including the Black Sea Fleet. International relations. The annexation of Crimea has had significant repercussions for international. Many Western countries see Russia's actions as a violation of international law and a threat to the global order. The United States and European Union have imposed economic sanctions on, and relations between Russia and NATO remain strained. Conflict in eastern Ukraine. The annexation of Crimea has also fueled a separatist movement in eastern Ukraine, where pro-Russian rebels have taken control of several regions. The conflict, which began in 2014, has led to the deaths of over 13,000 and continues to this day. Economic consequences. Sanctions. The annexation of Crimea has led to economic sanctions against Russia. These sanctions have had a significant impact on the Russian economy, particularly in the energy sector. Russia has also been banned from participating in some international organizations, such as the Energy. Russia is a major producer of oil and gas, and Europe is heavily dependent on Russian energy exports. The annexation of Crimea has led to concerns about the security of European energy supplies, and Russia could potentially use its control of Crimea to disrupt energy flows. Tourism. Crimea was a popular tourist destination before the annexation, particularly. However, the tourism industry has suffered since 2014 due to turmoil and economic sanctions. Outro. Thank you for watching our video on the politics and economics of Russia's annexation of Crimea. We have explored the historical context of the crisis, the geopolitical implications of Russia's actions, and the economic consequences of the ongoing conflict in the region. The annexation of Crimea remains unresolved, and the conflict in Ukraine continues to have significant regional and international